VC notes.
You gotta see. You gotta see.
Alright.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Whenever you're watching this video, HoopSpaces community, this is a next episode or second episode or a brand new episode of Keeping Up with the OKC Thunder. I am your host. I'm Sam, one of the biggest OKC Thunder fans that you'll ever meet in existence. And that's for those who don't know me by now. And I guess instead of me doing a mid-season, last episode I did a mid-season recap to see where we're at. We're 47 games in now with a loss to the Sacramento Kings, 118 to 113. Sacramento solidifies their slot as a 3 seed. And Oklahoma, they're still in the play-in mix. There is, I believe, let me check the standings. I believe there is still a 4-way tie from the 11 to the 7 seed. Let me make sure, get my number correct. And it's actually a 3-way tie for the 9 seed. Timberwolves at 9. Timberwolves at 9, Warriors at 10, Thunder at 11. And they are all three teams are still in the mix, 5 games away from the 8th seed, which is the Utah Jazz, as of this day that I'm recording, and 1 game behind both the Mavericks at 9.5 games back from 500. From the 1 seed, and the Suns, who are 9.5 games away from the 1 seed. So there's still a lot of in the mix of playoffs that can happen. Do we know what's going to happen? Probably no, we do not know. But the Thunder are at this point, we'll start off talking about briefly for the Sacramento game. This was one of the toughest games for me to watch. The score did wind back into getting closer towards the end of the wire. I believe one of the last possessions they tried to go for a 3 to tie the game when it was 113 to 116. Didn't work out that way. We see what happened. But the Thunder were kind of always in the fight. They started out up on the game. Then once third quarter hit, this is kind of where the fun part is, where I look at teams that typically play well in the third quarter. That's the Oklahoma City Thunder, Sacramento Kings, even Indiana Pacers, as far as just fun teams that play very well in the third quarter. And in the reverse situation, like when Oklahoma played Indiana, and they just ran away with it at the third, and Indiana could not keep up. Same thing happened with Sacramento. First of all, Keegan Murray could not miss. My heart sank every single time that Keegan Murray shot a 3 because it was going in. He was in full heat check mode, and it was just kind of a rough game. Isaiah Joe ended up with 21 points. He's the 3-point specialist. He's been an amazing pickup in the free agency market for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the battle between Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and De'Aaron Fox is one that I was really looking forward to, mostly because these are 2 young guards. If you want to call, still, people try to say they're not young anymore to be part of a young core. I believe De'Aaron Fox is 25. De'Aaron Fox probably 24, 25. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 24 years old. De'Aaron is 25. De'Aaron Fox is 25 and Shai is 24. They're still very young guards. They're very young and exciting guards to watch in this league. These are 2 guys who I know they're really good at their craft. De'Aaron Fox is hyper athletic and quick and can break down his defenders very easily. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's quick, but in a very shifty and funky way. He can break down his defenders. Either he can figure out blow past you, or he finds his weird herky-jerk motion to slow down. And both these guys were hitting some almost impossible shots that I've ever seen. And I've watched pretty much every single Thunder game this season. Shai was in a different mode. Sad they couldn't come out with that win, but we move. And they made up for it on Sunday. Because on Sunday, the Oklahoma City Thunder, with the potential playoffs being out of the mix, and a potential game sliding, they did not disappoint by Though credit, it was without Nikola Jokic, but as I like to say, you play who's in front of you, and without Michael Porter Jr., you play who's in front of you. You can't really get caught up in what ifs because if you lose to a team without their best player, it's a freak out. If you beat them without the best player, I mean, yeah, you're without the best player, but you beat who's in front of you. This is still a team that was on, I want to say, a 7-game win streak, comfortably at the top of the West. Oklahoma City snaps their win streak. Denver did have a rough shooting night. Denver had a very, very tough shooting night. But again, you play who's in front of you. Jamal Murray leading the Denver Nuggets in scoring with 26 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading with 34, 5, and 5. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the person on any given night, will drop 30 on your favorite team. This was an all-out amazing game. I was stuck to my seat. I did not leave, especially towards the end and down to the wire. Kenrich Williams, amazing. Josh Giddey, 18 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. Amazing. Josh is, one day I will just do a whole full rundown on Josh's improvement because he's been just phenomenal this entire last 2 months. And it's not like he's on some insanity run where it's just been like a week or two. Though this, you look up, he's been playing almost phenomenally since like early December, and we're going on February. So yeah, so I want to say I think the last specific play that I kind of knew where, this game is likely ours. It's something about, I want to go back and quote from the Bill Simmons did the Book of Basketball 2.0 when he did an episode on Chris Webber. He said Chris Webber will be the greatest player on the planet until the final 4 minutes, and then he goes out of nowhere. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player on the planet when it's time to clutch and crunch time, because he's just very composed, calm, and collected. I'm on the edge of my seat, but it's something about anytime I'm on the edge of my seat and the ball leaves his hands, I just feel kind of like comfort in a way. I feel comfort and calm and collected. It's like, he's got it. And also, there's no stakes really in the season, so that's where the most fun part about this season we can really enjoy. We're not really worried about draft position because we're not really in the lottery race. So if we win unexpectedly, it's not like, oh my God, our draft pick. And we're the youngest team in the league. So if we overachieve and win, we are head over heels. We are shouting. We're celebrating. But that's besides the point. Here's this weird, I think it was a bank shot in. It was a baseline mid-range shot. I can't remember if he switched it in or if he banked it in. But that leads with a few seconds left on the clock. OKC's up by 2. And for all those people who were, there's been a lot of talks on Lou Dort, and there's been kind of a lot of talks on Lou Dort, and because 30 minutes, he only dropped 7 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. This is kind of where really we're going to start seeing the ideal role of Lou Dort comes in, where he's not really, if he's your leading scorer and you win, or one of your leading scorers and you win, that's amazing. But he's not someone who I would be expecting to be the leading scorer in a basketball game, especially with the Oklahoma City Thunder now, and when they eventually get back Chet Holmgren, who's going to be taking a lot of touches. So my ideal people who should be taking shots, especially in big-time situations, will always be Shai, Josh Giddey, and Isaiah Joe, because Joe is a knockdown shooter. Joe only walked away with 8 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. But Lou Dort's value is in the final possession with Jamal Murray. He knows how to stick to his target. He knows how to stick to his target and be that point of attack defender that you really need. He's done Luka like that. He's done Damian Lillard like that. He does a lot of these players like that where he'll just be on you and you'll be on an island with him. The only things that kind of concern me a little bit is he tends to jump. He doesn't easily bite. But when it comes down to like final possessions like that, it's easy for him to bite, and it's easy to kind of be terrified of, is he gonna foul? Is he gonna be in the landing space? Is it gonna be a tech? he has moments of that, but he's just an intense defender, so that kind of, you got to take the good with the bad. So, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 23-24 on the season. They're still in play for a playing position or even a playoff position, depending on what the rest of the teams do. I know the Lakers got Rui Hachimura, and they're expecting AD back sometime soon. I don't know when AD's coming back. We just got to take that with a grain of salt. But I want to say the next 10 games for Oklahoma City Thunder. They play the Atlanta Hawks tonight at 7 p.m. CST. The Cavaliers on Friday. The Warriors on Monday. 2 games back-to-back against the Rockets. One on Wednesday, one on Saturday. They play the Warriors again. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they play the Rockets 3 times, and so they play the Hawks, Cavs, Warriors, Rockets, Warriors, Lakers, Blazers, Pelicans, and Rockets in the next 10 games. Yeah, the next 10 games. I have to make sure I have to count. In their next 10 games. So Rockets 3 times, Warriors twice, Hawks once, Cavs once, Lakers once, Blazers once, Pelicans once. Here's the fun part about when you like to try to pick what team that you can easily give, oh, we're going to go X and this versus just eyeballing it. I could easily say the Rockets are going to the Thunder are going to take the Rockets, but for some reason the Rockets always play harder than they ever do against the Thunder. I guess it's like a little, I guess it's still a rivalry thing going on. They play super hard against the Thunder. I expect us to go 2-1 in that, but I won't be surprised if we go 1-2. Just because we play so hard, but also we've been on like a very good run recently, so who knows how we look this go around. I can easily see, it's easy to say 4-6 where we beat the Rockets once or twice, beat the Lakers and the Trailblazers, and then lose to the Hawks, Cavs, and Hawks, Cavs, Warriors, and Pelicans. Did I say Cavs? Yeah. Hawks, Cavs, Warriors both times, Pelicans, and to the Warriors. And not the Warriors, the Rockets. To the Rockets. But again, you just never know. So it's hard at this point, especially in this stretch of the season, to count this team out for anything. And yeah, so I don't really know what our record could be by then. We could easily be 4-6. We could be 6-4. We could be 7-3. The hot hand can still run. So this is real. This is where the fun part begins, and a lot of people are talking still continuously about trade targets. I don't see the OG Anunoby thing happening anytime soon. I don't think we would target OG Anunoby. He's up for a new pay. He's up for a new payday, and I know it's like OKC has a lot of cap space, right? But we still have multiple guys who are easily part of the Thunder's future core that still have to get paid. And you want to manage your money correctly, because when you have these guys back to back, you have to kind of manage your money correctly so where they all can get paid. Josh Giddey's going to clearly get a max deal. Once he's up for a deal, then immediately, you have Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. Then you have Chet Holmgren. Also, Chet's not playing this year, but he's still getting paid for the whole season. So his contract will be up at the same time as Jalen Williams. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, unless you can convince OG Anunoby to take a more team-friendly deal where he still gets his payday, but it's more of a team-friendly thing where we can still afford to pay other people. That if there is a center that, let's say the OKC Thunder really just want to go for the playoffs and need a body just in the center position, it could happen, you know what I mean? It could really happen, but I don't know. Like, they're hard capped, so it could theoretically happen. But there's somebody who you would like to just kind of take this little waiver on. That's not a rotation. You just need a body to just be there. I would say probably Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba is a good floor spacer while giving you that physical presence that you need on the inside. That's kind of all. But I think that's all for this episode of Keeping Up with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is my weekly check-in with you guys, brought to you by HoopSpaces. I'm still going to do more updates, hopefully weekly. And if you like the content, please be sure to follow me at IV No Carter and subscribe to my podcast, Anonymous Sources. The links will be below. And also, I am a partner creator on Playback TV. So I'll leave that link below so you guys can give me a follow. And me and the rest of my podcast hosts, we will be streaming games, doing live chats on there, and such. I'm actually going to be starting, I don't know when this is going to go up, but the first game I'm streaming will be on January 27th, where it's going to be Cleveland at OKC. So if you ever want to see me freak out, and just my reactions there and how these guys play, then make sure you follow me on there. But anyways, take care, and until next time, this is Keeping Up with the Oklahoma City Thunder.